What's up, chat? What's up, chat? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Today, I have another important topic that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about mental health. Yes, you heard me right. Mental health. I know a lot of you guys, whenever I talk about mental health, I know a lot of you guys been making fun of me, or I don't know what it is, but every time I talk about mental health, every time I talk about mental health, you guys been mocking me. I know some of you guys hear, well, every time I talk about mental health, I know some of you guys hear this.
Emotional damage.
I know for a fact. I know a lot of you guys said that to me. Every time I talk about mental health,
Emotional damage.
or you know what else? What else I hear every time I talk about mental health? Every time I talk about mental health, you guys hear this too.
Oh no! My mental health! It's broken!
Really? You think it's funny? You think that's what I'm saying every time I talk about mental health?
Oh no! My mental health! It's broken!
Really? You think that's funny? Every time I talk about mental health, that's really what you hear?
Oh no! My mental health! It's broken!
Yeah, we need to do better. We need to do better, guys. Cause if that's what you're doing, like I don't even know.
Maybe I shouldn't feel so much pressure to put a positive spin on things.
Cause you guys are discouraging me. Feel me? So you guys need to stop doing that. It's not funny, okay? Most of you guys think that's funny. You really think that's funny?
Nope.
It's not. It's not funny at all.
Nope.
Because I'm trying to break that stigma and you guys are just holding us back. So it's not funny, okay? Stop it. So, that's all I had to just say about that. But let me go ahead and share my screen. So let's talk about. So first, we're gonna go ahead share watch this video, but please before we do that, please like this video just like the way I did, and please subscribe. She really gotta get content, and also please like my video as well. Let me put this one down a little bit. We're doing this. So let me go ahead and play.
So like I said, today I want to talk about how the negative stereotypes and the stigma associated with mental health, how it affects those of us who have mental illness, or even those of us in the field. How does it affect us? How does it change what we do? And I think this is really important because that's what we're working together for. So I would encourage all of you, share this video. This is important. People need to know that when they make comments, when they say things that are hurtful, when they perpetuate stereotypes and stigmas, how much it can actually hurt those who are already struggling. Please share the videos, retweet, do whatever it is we need to do to get the information out, because the more we talk about it, the more channels on YouTube talk about this, the more people share their stories, the more we comment and talk to one another, the better. Because we know that we're not alone in it. We know that the stereotypes are wrong, and we know that all it takes is a supportive community and reaching out to get help to make a difference. And so, how does this really affect us? I know many of us.
So let's be that community. Let's build that community. I know a lot. Like I know we're tired of the other community holding us back. Well, let's build that community that actually thrives. You know what I mean? I'm not saying make excuses. We're actually like she will talk about. We're very strong. We're like we're hard work. Like we work hard. We're hard workers. To be honest with you, like we're the most honest and positive people ever. You know what I mean? So if you care about your the society, it's kind of upside down. And if you don't know that by now, you are heading the wrong direction. The society is myth your society is misleading you. So I'm just pointing that out. Um, but let's go ahead and continue.
Many of you have reached out to me talking about how people have said things that are really hurtful, or they did this, or somebody told me I just need to eat, or I don't understand why you cut yourself. That doesn't make any sense, or any number of things. Like if you're depressed, just, smile a little, get out of the house, God. Or anxiety, everybody gets anxious. Ugh. Like people don't really understand, and they don't realize how those comments can really affect how we feel and how we go about our lives, and it can actually leave little scars on us inside and the way that we feel about ourselves, and can cause us to act out of that and to be frustrated and to be angry, and it just perpetuates this horrible, terrible cycle. And the worst of it is that it slows us down from actually reaching out to get help, because then we're afraid of what people will think. Oh, they see a therapist. Shit's not good for them. Or, oh, they see a psychiatrist. That means they're crazy. Or whatever people say. Be aware. Be cognizant of the things that come out of your mouth, the things you think, the things you perpetuate. Because you know what it actually is? The truth of it, and the honest truth, those of us who get help are really strong. We're fighters. We're not going to sit down. We're not going to take it. We're actually reaching out to get help because we know that we can do better. We can be better. We're like optimizing our life. The people who don't get help, people who sit in the shadows, the people who struggle and don't want to tell anybody and pretend and make fun of others who have it, those ones are the weak ones. And that's sad, really, if you think about it that way. We're actually working on ourselves. And that's hard work. That's the hardest work of all the work you'll do in your life, is the work you do in therapy. People who don't get it just don't get it. So I would encourage all of you, this is just my call to arms. Reach out, get help, support those around you, say positive things. Let's not be mean to one another. We're a community full of love and life, and that's why I only approve comments that are positive, that support breaking through the stigma and talking about it. And that's why I always am telling you, like the video, because that tells YouTube that mental health is important and it's crucial to our life. And that's why we need to share things. Retweet tweets about mental health and awareness, share videos that I put out, and just overall share positive information, things that can support one another, because it's so important that we as a community help break through the stigma, stop people from talking poorly about it, stop people from giving stereotypes out anymore, and giving the real truth of the issue, really what it's about. We know eating disorders aren't about the food. It's a coping skill. Same with self-harm. It's a way to cope with what we feel. We know that depression and anxiety are symptoms of a bigger issue and something else that's going on. It's not always about that one thing people see or talk about or know about.
Yeah, man. So, moral of the story: be whatever you are. Like, be a good one. Like, I don't know. I don't know what president said that. Let me actually put it right here. Whatever you are, yeah, Abraham Lincoln. There you go. I think that's what we're gonna conclude today. Whatever you are, be a good one. Right there. Whatever you are. No, we're not trying to buy one of these. Come on, man. We just trying to show the code, man. All right. Seems like we can't even, you know what I mean? We can't even show a code. I'm sure we can do it here. All right, all right, all right, all right. How about this one right here? There you go. How about right there? That's the moral of the story. Whatever you are, be a good one. You hear me? Or you guys can barely hear me. Whatever you are, be a good one. Whatever you are, be a good one. That's Abraham Lincoln. And I repeat it. So, whatever you are, be a good woman and take care of your mind. Just like the way that you take care of your body, make sure you take care of your mind, because it's kind of no brainer. That's what they say. It's kind of no brainer. You're taking care of your mind, but you don't want, like, you taking care of your heart or your body, but you don't want to take care of your mind. What a shame. Do your mental hygiene, okay? Practice your mental hygiene. It's very important. It's a little secret. Not a lot of people want to tell you that, okay? Not a lot of people want to share that with you. It's a little secret, okay? Your mental hygiene is very, very important. This society is gonna keep you down if you don't really practice your mental hygiene. Just like how when you don't really smell good, you know how people don't like you. They're like, some people don't really tell you. Some people will tell you. It's just like that. When you're like when something's wrong, some people might let you know. Some people might not. So it's important to keep just the way you take a shower, checking with your brain. Like a lot of people, you just been ignoring about your brain. Like you ignore your brain, like the most important thing. Like that's the most important, in my opinion. That's the most important organ in our body, like in our head, in our body, and everything. To be honest, some people say heart. Some people say nah. Like your brain controls everything. Your brain controls your heart. Like if somebody scare you, or if you see something, like if you're walking in the dark and you see something, guess what you feel immediately? Your heart is pounding so hard, right? It's about your brain. Your heart doesn't just like go crazy without you actually thinking about or acknowledging, or it's rare, but your brain is the king, my friend, or like your brain is in the head. That's why it's in the head. It should come first. But a lot of people just put it in, like, they just ignore it. You know what I mean? Even though God put it right here for a reason, like on top of your head for a reason. But you treat it like it's like somewhere around your feet. Some of you guys don't even check your feet. You don't care about your feet. But they actually do important. Like they're so important. You can't even walk without your feet. But you don't give a fuck. You just let that slide. You know what I mean? Just like you let your brain thing slide, man. But who am I to talk about that, huh? Who am I to talk about that? But anyways, please, 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 please hit the like button, subscribe. We will talk about a lot of things, man. This is just the beginning. I have a lot of videos that I want to get into next time. Let me share my screen real quick. That I want to show you the videos that I want to share next time. This is one of them. I have another one here. I have another one. No, that's the one that we just watched. I have another one here. Actually, let's kind of watch this
That
one real quick.
statistically speaking,
Let's see.
you or one of those people that you just shook hands with will likely experience a mental illness at some point in your lifetime. 43.8 million adults experience mental illness every year. That's a high prevalence of mental illness. Yet, why is it something we're still afraid to talk about? In October, everything is pink for breast cancer. In November, men grow out all their facial hair for prostate cancer. It's a great excuse for this guy not to shave. We go to galas, we go to golf tournaments, we go to 5Ks, we go to fundraisers, and more for heart disease, cancer, and many other illnesses. And while all of these are important, we often forget or don't realize that mental illness is among the #1 cause of disability in our country, costing nearly $200 billion in lost wages annually. Depression, #1 cause of disability worldwide. Suicide rates continue to climb among adults, adolescents, and even children. Every year, we see the loss of celebrities and prominent figures to suicide. The opioid crisis continues to devastate our communities, costing over $100 billion annually. Yet, we're still not courageous enough to talk about mental illness. Why? Think back to shaking your neighbor's hand. Think about some of the first thoughts that came to mind. great dress, cool shirt. Hope there isn't any more audience participation. Now, how did your thoughts change when I mentioned that one of you may experience a mental illness? Even for the most open-minded, judgment is a natural part of our human condition. However, when that judgment escalates to discrimination, prejudice, even hostility, it becomes a breeding ground for stigma. Stigma, defined as a mark of disgrace as a result of stereotypes and misunderstandings. In our society, mental illness is stigmatized more than any other illness or condition. We can see examples of stigma every single day, and we might not even realize what stigma looks like. Read the news. Turn on the news. Scroll through social media. Overhear a conversation on the street or at work. You are bound to hear an example of stigma. You might not even realize it. And those individuals that are stigmatized face barriers and obstacles to getting the help that they need. And it creates a bigger burden of untreated mental illness for our society and our healthcare resources. Now, some of this lies in a misunderstanding of psychiatric diagnoses. The brain, pretty cool, but very complicated. Modern science has still only just begun to understand how this works, let alone understanding what happens when there are issues with the brain functioning. There are many, many factors that contribute to the onset of mental illness: biological, environmental, social, genetic, stress, trauma. We still don't quite understand the interplay of all of these in our brain. Unlike back injuries, cancer, diabetes, we can't go get a scan, we can't go get an x-ray, we can't draw labs to diagnose mental illness. We can't see mental illness in the brain. Therefore, we have to rely on subjective reports and observations to get to a diagnosis. For many people in our society, this discounts the realness of mental illness. If you can't see it, it must not be real, right? This also leads to a lot of misunderstandings that people with mental illness can control it or snap out of it, or that those people who can't are weak or lazy or stupid, or have other personality flaws. We would never have these expectations of somebody with a broken leg or cancer. Now, other stereotypes begin to form because of these misunderstandings. The main one is fear. We have seen mental illness become synonymous with danger, violence, instability, and aggression. This isn't what mental illness really looks like. Yet, this is the picture that's painted over and over again.
Yep. And a good example is that, honestly, like where I'm originally from, people with mental illness, they lock up with chains. With chains. Yeah, I said that. Where I originate from, people with mental illness are locked up with chains. With chains. You know what I mean? And just left them alone. Like, you just chained them up and locked them up in somewhere by the tree or whatever and leave them hanging right there. Let them die like that. You know what I mean? That's human beings doing that to another human beings. That's like, I already know, like maturity, or a lot of people are shitty people, are shitty human beings. Like, that's just the reality. You know what I mean? It's just reality.
News media sensationalizes violent events, often portraying those suspects as mentally ill, homicidal maniacs. Movies, television, social media, even video games all follow in line with these fearful representations of mental illness. How many movie villains have mental illness? Think about it.
None.
This leads our society to label and seek separation from individuals with mental illness, causing them to feel shunned, isolated, fueling their own self-stigma and shame about their condition. So, we also see this lead to issues with employment opportunities, housing options, and even relationships. And if these personal things aren't enough, we can see these false beliefs penetrate our legislature. We can see policies come out that put further barriers in place for people in need of help. Now, we also can see this happen in our healthcare system. Many medical providers and healthcare professionals have these same false beliefs, and these can carry over into the care that they provide patients with mental illness. So those patients might not get the diagnostic testing or the interventions or those referrals that they might need, because sometimes those medical providers think the symptoms are all in their head. And on a larger scale, sometimes we can see this stigma in the way that insurance companies cover or don't cover mental health care or psychiatric interventions. With barriers like that, it's no wonder that more than half of the adults that have mental illness never seek the treatment or care that they need. Now, here's the thing. Mental health care works. For every dollar that's invested in treating depression or anxiety, we can see a yield of $4 in health outcomes and ability to work. That's a pretty good investment. I don't do finances, but I probably would want my 401k to look like that. And people that do seek treatment for mental illness have good outcomes. They get good symptom management. We can even see remission. You may not even realize how many successful people in our society have or continue to battle mental illness. Now, there is a simple solution to breaking this cycle of stigma, at least the first step. If we as a community can talk about mental illness in a respectful and real way, we can start to break that cycle. Education about what mental illness is and what it isn't can challenge people's misconceptions and stereotypes. It can also begin to change people's misunderstandings. On a personal level, we can put aside our own prejudice and our own false beliefs and simply show empathy to those people and families that are dealing with mental illness. It doesn't take much. Now, if we, as a community, as a society, as individuals, can start to see people with mental illness as people rather than their diagnoses, we can take that first step to breaking that cycle. And we will also start to see that people with mental illness aren't any different than you and I. The first step is having that courageous conversation. So, isn't it time we stop the stigma?
Yes,
It may just start with a handshake.
absolutely. So let's go ahead and have that conversation, guys. Like, let's go ahead and have that conversation. That important topic, that important conversation, because mental health matters, because you matter. You know what I mean? Because human beings matter. Our brains matter. Okay? Important topics matter. Our society matters. You know what I mean? So, please, please talk about this subject more. Don't be afraid. Okay? Your feelings are valid. You're a human being, regardless of how you feel. If you're happy, I hope you continue being happy. I hope you stay happy. You know what I mean? I hope you even get blessed more. And if you're going through something, please know that you're not alone. You are not alone. There's millions of people who are in the bottom, who are struggling, suffering. But just know that you are not alone. And just seek help. I know it's hard to seek help, but just know you're not alone, and you will get through this. You will get through whatever you're going through. You will. I promise you. I promise you. You are strong. Like, human beings are amazing creatures. They're amazing. Like, they can get through anything. So You are resilient. Stay strong. Um, really, really keep your head up, and let's keep this conversation going. Please, let's keep this conversation going. Um, hit the like button. Let me know what your thoughts is. What are you thinking about? Any ideas? If there's any video that you want me to react to, um, please let me know. But until next time, please make sure you stay guard at the door of your mind, because you're gonna have to live with the results. Don't let anybody just dump anything into your mind, okay? Because you are the one who's gonna live with that results. So stay guard at the door of your mind, okay? Until next time, my friends, um, I hope you stay blessed, stay healthy, make sure your mental health is protected, okay? Um and I'm trying to see what video I should leave you to. Let's play this one. And until next time, peace